Alright guys, welcome back. So I'm just gonna go out and say it. It is really bad for Cardano. Is there still any potential for Cardano and how to deal with potential losses with Cardano if you bought around the all-time high, which is around $3? Because today we're gonna do a deep analysis into Cardano, into the charts, and we're gonna take a look at where it is right now. And where it is right now is not in a good place. Now that's to say that I am still holding Cardano. I did not sell any Cardano. But at this point, from its all-time high to now, the price is around 80 cents as the time I'm filming it. The question still remains, am I still bullish? And what am I going to do? What's the plan that I'm going to do? And based on that plan, you might make a similar plan or go completely in the opposite direction of what you want to do for Cardano if you're holding Cardano and if you're at losses. Now, before we get into the video, why don't we go ahead first smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, because we need the YouTube algorithm to work in our favor to help grow our channel, right? So once we got that done, let's jump in. So it's been a while since I did my last Cardano video, my last Cardano review, and the question right now is, are you still bullish on Cardano? Because a lot of things have happened since my last Cardano video. You know, there's a war now between Ukraine and Russia, so we gotta examine the price, examine where it's at. And when you ask me, are you still bullish in Cardano? I'm just gonna push that off and say, well, at this point, I'm not gonna recommend anyone buying Cardano just because of where it's at. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that later in our technical analysis. But here's the thing I want you to remember about crypto, or any investment for that matter. Now, for the project for Cardano, I think that Cardano is fundamentally a good project. It's actually made a lot of progress, you know, with smart contracts, NFTs, staking, metaverses, and etc. So with all that, why is the price down? You have to remember that when it comes to the market, when it comes to cryptos, the price is not dictated by how fundamentally good the project is. It's based on the emotions of the market, because people are buying and selling it, right? And people have emotions. So it's really based on the emotional state of people and what they're thinking, what their mindset is. And in this war that's going on right now and inflation, a lot of people are in fear mode. And like I say in many of my videos, the market is not logical. It is emotional. And it's not just Cardano that is down right now. It's pretty much everything. You see a sea of red day in and day out. And that's where we separate the newbies from the experts, right? Because the experts know that this is just another cycle, and during these times of seas of red, that presents buying opportunities. Now there's that, and there is the sentiment for Cardano, and that is just not good right now. The momentum for Cardano is not bullish, it's bearish, it's literally red. So I'm really thinking that it will continue to drop until a certain level of support, which we will talk about when we get into the technicals later in this video. So with all that said and done, what is my plan? Well, to be honest, I am still kind of bullish on Cardano, and that's basically because I bought really early. I bought around at 20 cents, so right now I'm still deep in the profits. And all my Cardano are staked, and I don't really have any intention of selling right now. My focus are on other crypto projects. I am still bullish, and I think that Cardano can recover because we are right now like 74% from the all-time high. So you might see that as a great point to accumulate. Personally, I really see these zones as accumulation zones. This is where people will buy the dip, right? But the majority here would have bought at $3, and now they're holding on to losses and they're wondering if they should sell. Or if they haven't already sold already, they're putting in limit orders to sell at a certain price, which contributes to the price falling down more. And as we'll see in the technicals, right now we are in the middle of a huge imbalance, and imbalances are very scary. What's an imbalance? That is when you just see green candles day after day going up and up. There's no chop. The chop is what we really want to see, and I'll explain all of this more as we look into the charts later. But right now, just know that there's an imbalance and we're in the middle of that. A lot of people who bought around these levels are either seeing losses or they're probably just breaking even. And what that causes is fear, and it causes a lot of emotional pain. And with that said, you have to remember the saying of buy the fear and sell the greed. If you are buying into ADA, just know that you cannot buy into Cardano ADA and expect easy profits, because that thing moves slow until it sees a very big pump through some good news or something. But when you're buying into Cardano ADA, you're basically looking at a 2 to 3 year hold. But I just gotta warn you that Cardano ADA is really not my top pick. Right now, actually, I'm just looking at accumulating more of Ethereum. But again, if I'm thinking of buying into ADA, then I would just dollar cost average based on the Fibonacci levels. And we'll also take a look at that later. We will give you some levels, some technicals of where are good prices to buy if you're thinking of buying. But like I said earlier, I just don't recommend buying Cardano right now. But at the same time, I have to say this disclaimer that I always say, that I am not a professional financial advisor. You have to do your own research, do your own due diligence into Cardano or any other cryptos you're thinking of buying right now. Don't just go off some YouTuber's recommendations, because what I recommended to you from this video was literally, I don't recommend buying Cardano right now. So with that said, before we get into the technicals, if you are an ADA hodler and you've been hodling through this downtrend that we've been seeing, then please, can we just get a like and subscribe just so we can feel some love and support for each other, for all of us who are just going through this right now. Alright guys, so it's Friday night and I'm here looking at charts with you. So what we gotta really look at for Cardano is the imbalances, and I said earlier that imbalances are dangerous. And what is an imbalance? So imbalance is pretty much things like this. We see green candles that are basically non-stop. And if we take a look at the ruler, we basically had about, 15 days of straight run-ups from the beginning of January or the end of January to the beginning and mid-February of 2021. So all we saw here is a straight run-up, and as easy as it can run up like that, this is what is called an imbalance. There is no chop. That means as easily it can fall down these levels, because what we really want to see is we want to see chop. And basically like this here is chop, when we take this ruler, this whole entire section, that is chop. It's going up and down, up and down. So we want to see chop because that gives us something called support, right? Because if you see this line here, it's basically support. And you can see this green line here. That is something that I had prior of the levels we were looking at. Now, obviously, we lost that level a long time ago, around the end of February of 2022. And now we are basically sitting in a dangerous zone where we had no chop looking back into history. All we had is this straight run up, this straight imbalance, and just as easy that it can go up, that means just as easy it can go down. So basically what we're looking at, where Cardano is that it is trying to find its new support. And where we can find support is basically here at 39 cents. Yeah, you heard that right. And the support after that is 33 cents. So if I drew some lines for you, some horizontal lines, I will be saying that here, this acted as resistance and then it broke it. And again, if we add another horizontal line, I say that right here, this acted as resistance, it broke through the resistance, and then it acted as a support kind of. And really, it chopped between this level here, this from the middle of January to basically the beginning of February, that acted as chop. So what are we looking at here? So when we use Fibonacci's, we're basically, this is the subjective part, this is where the art comes in. If we use this low point here, because we're always taking low point to high points, with Fibonacci's, we're looking at the high point here, which is the all-time high. You could see that, I didn't even make this up, that here is where formed support. The price hovered around the support line for several days before actually going back up and breaking back down. And again, here, this acted as support. So I didn't even make that up, because this is my first time doing this. So that acted as support. So the next Fibonacci line where we might see some support is here at 883, which is 56 cents. But if we take another Fibonacci, so let's get rid of this and go back, and let's do another Fibonacci. Let's use this line instead. What do we look at here? So from top to bottom, low point to high point, you could see that that acted as support for the prices here, right? So it barely touched it. It acted as support kind of, it wicked it here and then climbed back up. So with that said, we could see that 883 again at 47, 48 cents, that is where we might see support. But basically the next zone of support that I'm looking at is right here in this green line between the prices of, let's say, 39 cents, 39.5 cents and 33 cents, right? So price can literally drop all the way back down here and chop in this arena before going back up. But again, this is a dangerous arena because we haven't spent that much time in it. I mean, from 15th of January 21 to the beginning of February is where how much time we spent, a total of like 15 days in this zone. So that is not as strong as a zone as, let's say, for example, here where we spent spent, let's see how long we spent here in this zone here. In this zone, we spent a whole 71 days. So this is a very strong zone of support, or a zone where price is good at, because there's chop, but we didn't spend that much time here. So the next time that if we lose this zone here at 33, 32 cents, then what we're looking at is we're looking back here where there was actual support, and that is between the prices of, let's say, 19 cents and 12 cents. So we do not want to go back there, because that is going to be bad for Cardano. But like I said, this imbalance is really, really scary, which is why I suggest to you guys to not be so impatient. I feel like everybody is scared of Cardano right now anyways, but this imbalance is really dangerous. Just as fast as we climb up, we can just as fast roll back down, and the momentum right now seems to be really bad for Cardano. It's just depressing. So that's your review, that's your update on the graphs of Cardano and what you can do. So I gave you some price zones, and you can take it or you can leave it, but that's where we are at with Cardano. So basically what we covered in this video is we talked about whether I'm still bullish on Cardano, what are my plans for Cardano. We took a look at what imbalances are, where the support for Cardano is, and whether Cardano is at a good buy right now. And I also gave you some levels based on Fibonacci of where to accumulate some more Cardano if you're looking to buy, which I don't recommend right now because we don't know what's going to happen. But other than that, if you've enjoyed today's video, if you actually learned something, then can you please help this channel grow, help our community grow by smashing the like button, the subscribe button. Check out these other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember guys, keep working, keep building, keep inspiring. See you next time.